Well, hey there, it's Jen.
And Elke, welcome back to the Jen and Elke Show, where you will learn more about Zazzle than you ever thought you ever needed to know. But you will also gain benefit from that because these are things that are going to help you be a better seller on the platform. And we love helping people. We've been on the platform since 2008, and some of these tips that well, actually, all of these tips that we give away here on this channel every Tuesday for the Zazzle tips of the week are the things that made a difference for us, and we sold more because of implementing the tips. Okay, and today's is such an obvious one, but yet so many people make this mistake, including us when we first started. Some products have two sides.
Yep.
And a lot of people decide that they're going to redo the whole design and redo all the templates for the second side, and it just creates a huge nightmare for the customer. And we want to just show you a very simple technique and how to get this done so that you make the customer journey for the customer to check out and buy, not cart abandonment, in really easy way for you as a designer. So stick around for the whole video. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, like Elka mentioned, some products have two sides. For example, pillows. There's invitations. There's keychains. There's a whole bunch of things. So this.
But if you want the same design on both sides, this is the most, like, this is going to be the most applicable for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because
Yes.
not all invitations are going to have the same design size back and front.
No. Yeah. So anything with a double side that actually makes sense. So that's why we chose a pillow. So I have a blank pillow here. And I'm logged in to Zazzle, and make sure that you're logged in before you start designing and trying to post for sale, because you won't be able to post for sale if you're not logged into your account. And go into the edit design tool. And I've already, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. I'm good. Okay. I've already added a photo grid. And if you don't know where they are in the element section underneath the frame section. And then you scroll down and they are underneath the grid section, and you can say view all. What's kind of fun is, for example, I wanted to make a photo pillow with a 3-photo collage. And if you try to scroll through all of these, it's actually quite ridiculous to look and try and figure out what's happening and how many photos. It's hard to actually distinguish unless you really, really pay attention. So you can just put in the word 3 or the number 3, and it'll pop up with all of the grids that have 3. If you wanted to put in 5, it pops up with everything that has 5 photos in it. So it actually makes it a little bit easier for you to find those grids. Just figured that out. So wanted to give you that tip to make it easier for you. Now I'm on my layers, and I've got 3 photos. And like our video that we did previously, if you haven't watched it, there's a video that explains how to do the grids, but you have to double click on the section in the grid, and then you have to add the photo afterwards with the template. So I'm just going to undo what I just did there, and I'm going to double click here, add the template, makes this section a template, double click here, makes that section a template, double click, make that section a template. Now I can add my photos inside the boxes. So I'm going to add that one in there. I'm going to add this one in here. And I'm going to add this one in here. Okay.
And it's kind of fun because what happens is they actually disappear from your layers.
Yeah.
Because you're like, where did my photos go? Yeah.
They're all in the one layer considered a grid. It's all underneath the grid, which is kind of, I wish you could double click on this grid and then see the other layers and the items that are in there, but maybe that'll come out in the future. I'm not too sure, but they've all been clumped together as if you grouped them together, but you can't technically ungroup them unless you either delete this photo or remove it from the grid, which is quite, it's a little bit not intuitive at the moment, but it's just a brand new technology. So maybe they'll up level in a bit afterwards. Either way, we've got our templates now. You can see that I can personalize all 3 of these photos. It looks really nice. I like the positioning. I'm going to go back into edit in the design tool, and I can now see my back. I have 2 layers, right? Front and back. So I'm going to go back to my front. I'm going to copy the grid, go to the back, and I'm going to paste the grid. But you only can do this copying and pasting after you've created your templates, okay? Because if you don't do that, then you will have 6 different photos that people will have to take out and change for their own. like the purpose of this tutorial is that if I want the pillow to be the exact same on the front as the back, and I want to make it as least amount of work for the customer to customize it, which means that I only want them to choose 3 photos, but still have all of the photos change. So you can see that I only have 3 photos here. And let's now go in and replace this image. And let's say I put it in with this lady here. I have now the image 1 replaced, which is that big portrait size photo. On the back, it's the exact same photo. So I've now got front and back. I know it doesn't show very well the difference, but it slightly changes the mock-up, and you can tell that that's on the front and the back. So this allows the customer to replace the images really easily without worrying about having to go in and change the front and the back, knowing that they've copied everything over. Okay, and then now you can see in my original, those photos have changed because I've changed them. And that's how you do that, to make a double-sided photo pillow collage using the new grid feature by copying and pasting your templates over from the front to the back.
So look how easy that was. But certain things had to be done in a certain order, and you had to do them, otherwise this wouldn't work. And it's just to remind you as well, a lot of people forget that there's a back on certain things, and they think, oh, well, I don't need it to be on like interesting on the back, but you're missing out. It doesn't cost more to print on the back. So get your customer to have a nice pillow that they don't always have to switch so that they get the part that shows the photo. Instead, you can have it both sides, and the customer is happy because they don't have to put in 6 photos and fiddle around with it. Instead, they just put in 3 and everything gets changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you want to learn more about designing like this, then I welcome you to join our Design Divas membership. It's the only membership of its kind for designing on Zazzle, and we meet twice a month, and it's for an hour each meeting, and you get to submit designs and have them critiqued and reviewed by myself. Any of those reviews or feedbacks that I give you, you can use to make a new product or a new version of that product. And you'll be in a group of like-minded entrepreneurs and Zazzle designers who are excited to learn about designing just as much as you are. And we'll learn all these little tips and tricks like we just talked about here, because not everybody knows those. And also it might take you a while to figure it out on your own, or you might be inspired to do something completely new that you would have never thought of before. So the link is in the description below to join that membership, and we would love to have you in there. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.